Hello and welcome back to making art in my garage late at night. I just want to start by saying sorry for the last few videos. I was pretty low energy, just tired, a lot of work, other stuff on my mind. Anyways, I think it's important when making art or doing whatever your hobby is in your free time to really do the best you can to not think about all your other responsibilities and obligations, because that can really hinder the creative process, I think. And what we're going to do today is we're going to finish this up, and then, check it out, I ordered some more miniatures off of the internet. This pack I think was like maybe 50 bucks, and this one I just put in one bid and I won. Nobody else bid on it. It was $25. I completely forgot what the miniatures look like, if they're painted or not, what companies they are. I don't do drunk shopping anymore because I don't drink, but I do what's called late night, really hazy and tired after work shopping, which is basically the same thing, because a lot of the time I just, stuff will arrive and then I'm like, Merry Christmas to me, I guess. Alright, so with this guy, I think it's been a long enough time to where we can erase the pencil. So with these kind of erasers, I like to keep the cardboard, and how I do that is I take it out, I see, okay, need that much. I take my little scissors and I just give it the old snip, circumcise that eraser. I don't know if that was inappropriate. Anyways, a little bit of erasing. Hand. Skull. Lighter. Long. Ashtray. Skull again. Oh. Without further ado, let's start this time lapse. Let's get it going. Alright. Now, put a little glove action on. I'm still getting used to drawing on a vertical surface with one of these pens. I know I've complained about it pretty much every time, but I just don't know how to do it comfortably. When you're on a table, the pen is naturally perpendicular to the surface, it's vertical. But when you're drawing vertically, you have a tendency to hold something the way that you would hold it if you were drawing on a horizontal surface. So for me, that's like this, and it has a downward slope. So I have to change the way I hold it to be more like this, which changes the whole positioning of my hand, which makes the drawing just, I don't know, it's not, I guess it is a little bit more difficult. It's just weird, it's just different, and it didn't feel right. It just feels like a little, like I'm holding it with like a little dinosaur hand or something. And anyways, there's got to be a better way is all I'm saying, and I haven't figured it out yet. But let's try and get this done. I suspect it will look much cooler when it is inked. I'm going to start at the top here with the skeleton hand. And as my longtime followers will tell you, I have this kind of style of, I guess you could call it detailing, where I like to add these little dots, little fissures to the bone. I think it gives it a nice, it makes the bone, to me it makes the bone seem a little bit drier and older, and it gives it a less smooth texture, because bones aren't smooth. They're kind of rough and they're kind of bumpy-ish and whatever. One thing that I'm still working on is applying heavy shadows. I know that heavy shadows can be very satisfying when applied correctly, but sometimes I'm a little bit scared to do it because I think that I will have applied too much shadow, and then, because you can't really go back, that's it, it's just in. So also with something like this, when I start drawing, I should decide beforehand where the light source is. And I think it might be subconscious, but I usually just use the actual, if there's a lamp, that's where the light source in the picture is coming from, which is usually top right or left. And it's usually top right for me, I don't know. The only place where I draw and the light source is top left is on my work desk. And I haven't drawn there in a very long time. But in here, most of the light comes from the right. Unless I set that lamp up over here and then it crisscrosses. I would like to get more lighting. I just have cheap Amazon light and then the wall light. I'll show you my setup at some point. It's not very glamorous, but it gets the job done. Gets some of the job done. I think the best time to film would be during the day, or because daylight just has such a makes everything look so clean. This indoor neon whatever light, I try to make it look as warm as possible, but I don't know. I feel like it could be better, but I can't film during the day. I work during the day. I can barely film at night. What am I talking about? My God. Another great thing about these brush pens is that when you're doing little shapes and details, is that you'll rarely ever get the same shape. When you're using a brush pen that has like more of a harder, here I'll show you. This is my pen box. So these are my favorite brush pens for drawing. These little, what are they called? Tombow Fudenosuke. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But there's two types. There's the blue one and the green one. The blue one is the hard tip and the green one is the soft tip. The blue tip is a little bit shorter and the green tip is a little bit longer. So I think that's what makes it hard and soft. But with those, if you press it down on the paper, you're going to get this little triangular mark, and you can get a same mark pretty much. This thing, if you press it down, you're going to get like a different mark every time because it's not just like one foam bristle. Oh, I should have mentioned that's like a foam. It's like a piece of foam. It's like a foam brush. This one has little bristles. It's like an actual brush. So you get a much more varied textures with this guy, which is nice if that's what you're looking for. I definitely recommend getting one of these pens. Anything drawn with one of these pens looks very cool. Even if you don't think it looks cool, I think it looks cool. Let's see, what's the date today? It's something or other, but coming up on the 2-month mark here of making art in my garage late at night, which is the dumbest title for any show. But if you can think of a better title, please let me know. So coming up on month 2, and when that happens I will share the analytics and statistics and whatever with you of the growth, if there is any. There is growth, I'll tell you right now. There's been at least 100 subscribers in the last month, which is crazy because that's double the first month. And to me, that's, on the one hand, it's very exciting, but on the other hand, it's a little bit scary. And it's not scary because, well, I'll tell you why it's scary. To me, that's scary because I think that, oh no, is this as good as it's going to get? Is this the most subscribers I'm going to get? Is it only downhill from here? My brain has that kind of tendency to think about things in a very negative way. So it's not the best thing ever. One thing I'll tell you what that blows my mind is I posted a couple videos to Instagram recently just to try and get people to know that I'm not dead yet. And who should comment on my video? Miss ya, winky face, Adrian Smith, one of my favorite artists. Magic the Gathering, I have a bunch of board games that he's done the art on. I look at his art almost every single day. He released this comic called Hate, and I don't have any of it yet because I'm an asshole and I haven't bought any. That's something that I really want to get. I think it's going to be my birthday present to myself this year. But I bought the board game that he put out, and I have it here somewhere. It's still in its original box that it was shipped in. I haven't even opened it because I got it right when I had my first child. So I had no time to even look at it. But getting a comment from one of your hero artists on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever, it's surreal. It shook me awake in terms of, look, there are people who look at your work, and some of those people you really respect. Not to say that I respect all of you, but getting a comment from your hero or someone you admire, it's crazy. It makes you feel like you're actually worth something. And so that was a real nice highlight to my day. And he also has a YouTube. You should go check it out. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I think it's just called Adrian Smith Art. I could be wrong about that, but if I remember while I'm editing this, I will link it in the description. He just basically draws his awesome stuff, and basically full disclosure of the entire process. Super sick. His art is like what I aspire my line work to get to. I don't think I will ever get to his level, if I'm being completely honest, because his style requires such a level of patience and dedication that I just don't know if I have. Alright. Another thing that I was thinking about that's kind of funny to me is that, let's take this piece of paper for example. It's a pretty large piece of paper. What, like 2 feet by 1.5 feet or something like that. And if I was sitting at my desk and I was drawing on this piece of paper, I would feel like, my goodness, this piece of paper is huge. This is a massive piece of paper. But since it's up here on the pinned up on this board and I'm drawing on it horizontally like this, it feels small. It's very odd that something can feel small and large when it's the same size. It's a bit weird. I think I mentioned earlier I did a commission, I think it was 2022, back when I was still living with my parents, and it was on a piece of paper that was about this size. And it took me forever. It was one of the more time-consuming pieces I had done and have done since. I don't remember who commissioned it, but thank you, whoever you are, if you ever see this video. I appreciate that, because it really forced me to go outside of my comfort zone of half an hour to 1 hour drawings. Alright, so here we have the smoke coming out of his eyes. I'm not really sure. This smoke, like I said, it kind of looks like fire. I don't think I did a very good job with it, but again, practice makes better. So I'll try to be better next time. I'm trying to make so the bottom of the eye sockets or whatever the smoke is coming out of is like, it's fully dark, filled in. But then as we go up and the smoke becomes thicker, then that's where it starts to fade out a bit. So I'm trying to find a way to do that without it looking terrible. I think it's fine. And that's pretty much how I feel about a lot of my work, is that it's just fine. Rarely am I ever excited or very happy with what I produce, because I always make the comparison of, I look at other artists and I think, oh man, it's not anywhere near what they can do, and I don't just judge my own stuff on its own merit, which when I try to, I just think it's fine. It's not great, it's not amazing, it's not gonna get people to stop and take a picture, right? It's fine. It works for whatever it is. If I could make art that was amazing, I would. And I guess that's my goal with this, is just to keep going until myself consider what I'm doing amazing. But I don't know if I'll ever get there. We'll see. It's going to be a long journey. Again, I have to remind myself that what I'm doing it's really just for me. It's for your entertainment, of course, but ultimately, I'm doing this for my own personal kind of insanity and growth as an artist, illustrator, whatever I am. And I have to remember that I don't need to rush through things. I can just take my time with stuff, because at the end of the day, it's easy for me to get caught up in my head about subscribers and comments and the whole social media aspect of it, because when you see stuff like that happening, that it clicks in your brain, I'm doing a good job. If people are watching or if people are commenting, that means that I've done a good job. So it kind of turns into this thing, how can I get more of that good feeling, where it should just be, just do what it is you like to do, and people will see that you like to do it, and they'll resonate with that. So that's one of the things that I have to remind myself to do, is just to slow down, take it easy. It's cool to not finish stuff the day that you start it. It's cool to just keep working on things for multiple days. I have to get better at that. I have to get more accustomed to slowing things down. Alright, the teeth. Whenever I do teeth, I always have this dilemma. Should I do it clean how it is here, or should I draw this little line that separates the teeth from the skull and make it look kind of grittier? And since this is a more simple and bold lines kind of skull, I think I should just leave it simple. Just have maybe just some little line details above the teeth, but not the thing that makes them look like they're about to fall out or whatever. Drawing really, what is it called, decayed and old skulls can definitely be very fun. But I gotta learn how to stop. Sometimes I'll add too much detail. Like that video where I drew that skull with all the polka dots. That one I just went ham. I'm definitely gonna paint over that crap. It looks awful. I made that skull look like it got taken out of a fire or something. It looked like it got charred. So this is where it's hard to draw like this, where I'm trying to ink something that's near the top row of teeth, right? And I'm trying to ink the inside of the mouth. And holding the pen like that just makes it so awkward. I can flip it because I can get away with a little bit of time that there's ink in the brush or whatever. But eventually I have to flip it back over to get more ink in there. I've gone and smudged it. I knew it. Smudged it here. I always try to fix it with an eraser, but of course it never works. When it comes to inking, if you want to keep your stuff nice and neat, rules are meant to be followed. Always top to bottom. And I overextended here. I shouldn't have done that line until I was ready to go down here to the bottom. And in my heart brain, I knew that I was going to mess it up. Another part that I struggle with is the chin. I really don't feel comfortable drawing this chin part. It's just, it always messes me up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure it looks fine when I'm done. That's fine, but I don't know. Alright, well, that's that. Mostly done. See, I made this line all thick and now this line's all thin up here. Also, I still haven't found a good way to set up the camera. People probably want to see as up close as possible to the drawing. They don't want to see me, I get that. But when I do it over to the side here, since the light comes over there, it casts a shadow. And if I do it from over here, then I'm in the way. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Thank you for watching. I know there's only about 4 or 5 people who watch the entirety of my videos from start to finish. And I really appreciate you. You 5, you know who you are. That's a shiny spot, I guess. I don't know. Oh man. One thing I also have to learn or work on is cross-hatching. I'm terrible at it. I have this style of shading, which I like to call blob shading, because it's just freaking blobs. But there's people who can cross-hatch so well. There's this one guy, I love his art, on Instagram. Robert Human. Go follow him. He is a master of cross-hatching. He draws skeletons and skulls and zombies and fantasy stuff. And he is exquisitely good at it. He's a young guy, but the way that he draws, before I knew he was a young guy, I pictured like this wizened old man, because the way he draws is just so precise and so textbook illustration-y. It's freaking beautiful. One really good thing about drawing at night is that it's nice and cool. The garage, it kind of captures a little bit of the warmth of the day, but mostly it's nice and cool, which I really like. Just gotta add some little nicks and nooks to make it look like it's been around the block. The slider's seen some stuff. Alright, next is the ashtray. One of my personal favorites. I've mentioned before that I love drawing ashtrays, and I also love drawing mugs, because mugs are basically just elongated ashtrays. Huh, but you never thought about mugs like that, did you? That's why people ash into mugs. They're just tall ashtrays. And this is just one fat joint resting. So I think it might be good to fill in the inside of the ashtray with either lines or just a complete fill. That way it'll give it a little bit of depth. Let's attempt to do lines. Let's try it. So far so good. You ever draw something that's so good you get goosebumps? No? Neither do I. Looking alright. Just a little bit of scuffs and scoofs. Oh my god, Mickey. Hey, you gotta stop pulling out all the crap. You gotta stop that. Get it out of your mouth. I need a chair. Wow, sitting and drawing. What a novel idea. I love it. It feels wonderful. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when I'm drawing or painting or something, I have this thought come into my head. Am I just wasting these art supplies? Am I just wasting them? And then the other part of my brain says, you idiot, that's what these are made for. They're made to be used. So, if you ever get that thought, am I wasting something? Push it out of your head. Push it as far as it could go. Deport that thought. Because art supplies are meant to be used. Everything's meant to be used. We don't live very long. The only thing you're wasting if you're not doing stuff is your life. And don't do that. It's the most precious thing you have, your time. Don't waste your time doing stuff. Dumb stuff. I don't know. What's dumb? Don't steal from people. That's dumb. Unless it's a bank. Rob a bank. Good. That's a good idea. Well, only if you can get away with it. Don't rob a bank unless you can get away with it. Don't rob other normal ass people. That's just not cool. Unless they have over $10 million. If somebody has over $10 million, then I think it's okay to rob them. Because if I had over $10 million and somebody robbed me, I'd kind of deserve it. Alright. I have this tendency to draw skulls with this kind of like a cone head, but it's funny because you don't really notice it. It's kind of like, from the that it is, it looks, you know, pretty. I just still think it's kind of funny. Yeah, I saw a photo the other day of like people who have like a crease in their skull from their headphones, and I couldn't tell if it was like Photoshop or if that was real, and if it is real, then get some lighter headphones. What the hell kind of headphones are you wearing that are so heavy that they're putting a crease in your skull? That's insane. Or does that just imply that they have soft skulls? Like, what? I don't know. I try to stay off the internet these days. It makes me sad. I get real quick when I go online. But then again, when I go offline, I get real happy again because I know that everything that's happening is all just fine. Everything is always as it should be. I'm not saying that there's like a great, or that God has a plan, or that there even is a God. All I'm saying is that everything is always okay. Even when atrocious, terrible things are happening, in time, there will be ramifications, and I don't know, the pendulum swings back the other way. Terrible things can't last forever. Good things can't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. So enjoy yourself. Draw skulls. Make some art. Alright, now I'm on to the Stay Connected. It's kind of one of the catchphrases for the brand that I work with, Connected. They have a couple catchphrases, but this one is the most simple and the most effective, and I would say the most popular one. I don't really know what I'm trying to do here. I guess I'm just trying to make the text look a little cleaner or something. A little bolder, a little cleaner. Which I think it looks fine. Probably gonna hear me say that word quite a bit. Everything is fine. Ugh! Drawing straight lines with this pen. Ooh. The text does look a little better though. I'll give it that much. Stay connected. I don't think I can improve the bottom text too much. I'll do my best, but I messed up the kerning already. It's not looking too hot. C's are way too wide for the rest of the text. I don't even know what the hell I was thinking there. I guess I'll just try to bolden it out a bit. But at this point, I'm just pushing a turd uphill. CONNECTDDRESPVTCD. Alright. Oh my god, my arm is so tired. Alright. CONNE. I'm still on the N. Why am I saying that? CONN. I'll tell you what though, doing text with these pens, not fun, not enjoyable. Unless you enjoy feeling the burn. I guess the slight amount of precision that I am achieving is a bit enjoyable. But looking at the text itself and seeing how ugly it is not enjoyable. If you've watched this far, I really appreciate you. You must have nothing better to do. There's so many good video game review channels and other better art channels. Oh man, I came across this one art channel where the guy starts every video saying that he has, I don't know, something like 14 years of experience as a professional artist, and then X amount of years teaching art, and his art's quite good. He does these whimsical watercolors, very beautiful, not even loose, it's very cool. I would say, I can't remember the artist's name, is escaping me right now, but anyway, all you gotta know is it's really cool. What's funny is that he makes it not super easy to find his own work that he does, and furthermore, it's even more difficult to find his online store where he sells his work. So I'm like, thinking to myself, does this guy, he's clearly a professional artist, right? But does he just make more money selling classes and has just transitioned over into just mostly doing that? Because all of his videos, he's drawing while he is talking about these self-help topics. But there are no just art videos like here, I'm going to draw this stuff and then you guys are just going to watch me draw. Which I was just, there's nothing wrong with that, I was just curious about it. Another thing that I was debating, should the smoke have like a bit of a shadow to it? I feel like yes, sure. That way it'll give a bit of a way to pop off the skull a bit. Because right now it's kind of flat, right? Or does that just look weird? I don't know. It's hard to tell when you're standing so close. Alright. Whoo-wee! Alright, well, that's that. Done. Stop the time lapse. Give it a little bit of a signature, just in case. Alright, so, right now, I have a little bit of time left. Let's open one of these boxes. Alright, nice little box it came in. Ta-da! Oh, hello. Alright, let's go. What do we have here? A little knight with a bent sword. Quite cool. I like it. I like his square platform. It's doesn't say what it is, but he's cool. I like him. Oh, what's this? I think that's a Medusa. Got snakes for hair. Dang, look at that butt. That's nice. Alright. What do we got here? We got a man with a bag and a little man with bag and knife. He's pretty cool. That looks to be an Egyptian skeleton man. That's pretty rad. I like that a lot. That guy's cool. Look at that. Very cool. Here we have a warrior of sorts. Got a shield, got a little tiny sword. It looks like Conan almost. Maybe it is Conan. 1981? Oh wow, this guy's cool. Like some kind of medieval pikeman. Pikeman. Very cool. I like this guy a lot. I like him. Alright, who do we have here? It looks like... Can't really tell sometimes because of the paint job. The paint is not... obscures the details. But he looks kind of like maybe a knight with a flail. Or I think he's probably an assassin. I think he has a little skull on his belt, but I can't tell. Ah, we have another skeleton. This is perfect because I have a lot of skeletons. This guy can join my rank of skeletons. I really like old miniatures, especially the skeleton kind, because they're so much more diverse than modern day skeleton plastic miniatures. Here we go, Mr. Kite Shield with a hell of a weapon. Very cool. I think the square-based guys are more historic. This looks like a dwarf with a dragon staff and a very nice cape. This is great. You can see, because of the white priming, you can really see the details. This is nice. Oh wow, that is awesome. Rarely do you see miniatures that aren't standing on their legs. This guy, he looks to be I think he's being attacked by some sort of little lizards because he looks pretty shocked and they look like they're biting him. Oh wow, that is cool. He's a werewolf. And check a look at that base. I really appreciate a detailed base. You don't get those very often. Very nice. Oh yes, that's very good. Some guy with a big club. Pretty cool. I think this guy's a farmer. He has like a hoe. He doesn't look happy about his job. I think this guy must have been holding something because... Or he's just threatening somebody with his fist. I'm not sure. That is fire. That's awesome. He's like calling somebody out. This guy looks like some Scottish warrior. Oh, cool. A little bartender civilian man. Looks like a ogre, maybe? Somebody fencing or fighting with it. It looks like a halfling. The scale of all of these is so different. It's hard to tell what race they're supposed to be. Oh, this might be an old citadel nurgling. This might be a rare one. You never know. Ooh, nice. I love a good dwarf. This is really cool. Really good detail. And he's wearing a crown too, which, awesome. I have a good little collection of dwarves, so I like that. Oh, wow. I think this might be like a troll or a kobold or something, but very cool. Or some kind of orc? Very nice. Not sure what this guy is. I think he might be a peasant. Alright, a busty civilian. Look at them jugs. Woo. I think the ones on the square bases are historic. They look very, like, non-fantasy. This guy's got a bent little sword. That's a great pose. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Another skeleton warrior. This guy's got a scythe. That's amazing. Here's some big boys. Gotta zoom out for this guy. Dang, that's very cool. He's definitely a giant because he's got an animal hanging from the back there. And he's standing on rocks. That's pretty dang cool. I like that. And what do we got here? Gigantor Golem Man. This is crazy. This looks like some kind of amateur work right here. Because for the scale of this, the detail is just not good. I do enjoy really funny models like this though too. And the reason why I bought this kit, this lot, the clincher, was this guy. This is the whole reason why I bought these. I just thought this guy was so sick. He's like an executioner, I think. I like the shape of his hood, the way that his clothes are, the axe, just the way he's standing there. I think everything about this is phenomenal. Okay, well, thank you for watching today. I think I'm actually gonna separate the little miniature video into a separate video just so it doesn't get too convoluted, and I will be posting that tomorrow. But also tomorrow we're gonna take one of those miniatures while not looking, and then we'll draw them like I was talking about in the previous videos. So thank you very much for joining me. Sorry I was being such a Deborah Downer these last few days. If you'd like to support me, and if you've watched this far, then you're already supporting me. But if you'd like to support me further, leave me one of these. Maybe subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. Log into their account. Subscribe my ass to their account, you know. Or you could visit my online store. I have a Threadless where I sell just like my designs on t-shirts. Or I have my www.beebosloth.com where I sell this hat and stickers and some other leftover stuff. Don't buy the ashtray because I ran out of ashtrays, and so if you order an ashtray, you're just going to get a refund. Sorry about that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you so much for watching tomorrow. And I will see you tomorrow. How interesting. I'm learning so much.